Have you ever wondered why we don't shoot nuclear waste into space? It's a question that sparks curiosity, a sense of out of sight, out of mind. The idea of sending our most dangerous waste far away from our planet seems like a perfect solution, doesn't it? It's a question that sparks curiosity, a sense of out of sight, out of mind. But the reality is far more complex. Imagine loading up all that hazardous material onto a rocket and launching it away from Earth, a seemingly simple solution to a complex problem. Imagine loading up all that hazardous material onto a rocket and launching it away from Earth, a seemingly simple solution to a complex problem. However, the logistics and risks involved are immense. The cost of launching a single rocket is astronomical, and the potential for catastrophic failure is always present. But like most things in science and engineering, the reality is far more complicated. The engineering challenges alone are daunting. Rockets can fail, and if a rocket carrying nuclear waste were to explode in our atmosphere, the consequences would be disastrous. While the vastness of space might seem like the perfect dumping ground, the truth is far more nuanced, filled with risks and ethical dilemmas. The potential for space debris to collide with other satellites or even return to Earth adds another layer of complexity. Let's unpack why shooting nuclear waste into space isn't as straightforward as it sounds. The ethical considerations are significant. Do we have the right to pollute space, potentially affecting other celestial bodies or future space missions? We'll explore the potential benefits, the very real risks, and the scientific realities that make this idea more science fiction than science fact. While the concept is intriguing, the practicalities and moral implications make it a far less viable solution than it might initially appear. The concept of using rockets to dispose of nuclear waste is tantalizing in its simplicity. Imagine a future where we could launch our most dangerous materials into the vastness of space, far away from our fragile planet. Imagine a future where powerful spacecraft haul dangerous materials away from our planet, ensuring that these hazardous substances never pose a threat to life on Earth again. This vision paints a picture of a cleaner, safer world for generations to come. Leaving Earth cleaner and safer for generations to come is a noble goal. The idea is to protect our environment and ensure a healthier planet for our children and grandchildren. Proponents of space disposal point to the immense distances involved. The vastness of space offers a seemingly infinite area to store our waste far from human habitation. Shooting waste into the sun, for example, would effectively vaporize it, eliminating any risk of contamination on Earth. The sun's intense heat would break down the waste into harmless components. Other proposals suggest aiming for stable orbits around the sun, far from Earth's gravitational pull. This would keep the waste safely away from our planet, reducing the risk of accidental re-entry. This would essentially create a cosmic graveyard for our nuclear leftovers, a place where our most dangerous materials could be stored indefinitely, without posing a threat to life on Earth. While these ideas hold a certain appeal, they come with a hefty set of challenges and risks that we can't ignore. The cost of launching rockets, the potential for accidents, and the ethical considerations of sending our waste into space are all significant hurdles that must be addressed. The vastness of space offers a certain allure when it comes to waste disposal. The sheer volume of space, seemingly limitless, makes the idea of using it as a dumping ground tempting. Beyond this sense of vastness, there's the allure of celestial bodies like the sun. Our star possesses the raw energy to incinerate nuclear waste, transforming it into harmless particles. However, this simplistic view overlooks the complexities of space travel, the inherent risks of launching rockets, and the potential consequences of accidents in the harsh environment of space. One of the most significant risks associated with launching nuclear waste into space is the possibility of a rocket malfunction. Rockets are incredibly complex machines, with thousands of moving parts that must work in perfect unison. A single malfunction during launch could have catastrophic consequences. Imagine a rocket carrying tons of radioactive material exploding shortly after liftoff, scattering hazardous debris over a wide area. The 1986 Challenger disaster serves as a stark reminder of the risks inherent in space travel. While not carrying nuclear waste, the explosion of Challenger shortly after launch underscores the unforgiving nature of rocketry and the potential for disaster. Section 5. A cemetery of satellites. Even if we were to overcome the challenges of launching rockets safely, we'd still face the issue of space debris. Earth is surrounded by a growing cloud of defunct satellites, spent rocket stages, and fragments from collisions. This orbital debris poses a significant risk to operational satellites and future space missions. Adding nuclear waste to this mix would only exacerbate the problem, creating a potential minefield of hazardous materials in orbit. Collisions between debris can trigger a cascade effect, creating even more debris in a chain reaction known as the Kessler syndrome. This could eventually make certain orbits unusable, hindering our access to space. Section 6. The price of reaching for the stars. The economic costs associated with shooting nuclear waste into space are astronomical, pun intended. Launching even a single payload into orbit requires a tremendous amount of fuel, materials, and manpower. The cost of launching enough rockets to dispose of the world's nuclear waste would be staggering, likely exceeding the budgets of even the wealthiest nations. Moreover, the development of new technologies required for safe and reliable space disposal would require years of research and development, further driving up costs. Section 7. A universe of uncertainty. Beyond the technical and economic challenges, there are significant scientific uncertainties surrounding the long-term behavior of nuclear waste in space. While the sun might seem like the ultimate incinerator, we can't guarantee that all waste would be completely destroyed. Some materials might survive the journey and end up orbiting the sun, posing a potential hazard to future space exploration. Additionally, the effects of long-term exposure to the harsh radiation environment of space on nuclear waste containment vessels are not fully understood. Degradation of these containers could lead to leakage and contamination. Section 8. The challenge of containment. One of the most critical aspects of any plan to dispose of nuclear waste, whether on Earth or in space, is containment. Nuclear waste is incredibly dangerous, emitting radiation that can be lethal to humans and other life forms. Ensuring the safe containment of nuclear waste during launch, transit, and disposal in space would require incredibly robust and reliable containers. These containers would need to withstand extreme temperatures, vibrations, and the potential for impacts with micrometeoroids. Designing, testing, and manufacturing such containers would be a monumental engineering feat, adding further complexity and cost to any space disposal program. Section 9. International Agreements and Cosmic Responsibility. The final frontier of space is not a lawless frontier. It is a domain governed by a complex web of international agreements and treaties. These agreements emphasize the peaceful exploration and use of celestial bodies for the benefit of all humankind. They are designed to ensure that space remains a realm of cooperation rather than conflict. The Outer Space Treaty of 1967, to which most spacefaring nations are signatories, is a cornerstone of space law. It prohibits the placement of nuclear weapons or other weapons of mass destruction in orbit around Earth, on the Moon, or on other celestial bodies. This treaty is fundamental in maintaining peace and security in outer space. While the treaty doesn't explicitly mention nuclear waste, the spirit of the agreement encourages responsible behavior in space. This means that nations are expected to act in ways that do not harm the space environment or jeopardize the safety of other spacefarers. Disposing of hazardous materials in space could be seen as a violation of this spirit and could potentially trigger international tensions. The responsible use of space is not just about avoiding conflict but also about preserving the space environment for future generations. As humanity continues to explore and utilize space, it is crucial that we adhere to these principles to ensure that space remains a peaceful and sustainable frontier. Section 10. Earthbound Solutions for Earthly Problems. While the idea of shooting nuclear waste into space might seem appealing at first glance, the technical, economic, and ethical challenges make it an impractical and potentially dangerous solution. Instead of looking to the heavens for a quick fix, we should focus our efforts on developing safe and sustainable solutions here on Earth. This includes improving the efficiency of nuclear reactors, reducing the amount of waste they produce, and developing advanced storage solutions that minimize the risk of contamination. Ultimately, our planet is our spaceship, and it's our responsibility to find solutions that protect both humanity and the environment for generations to come. Section 11. Our Shared Future, Above and Below. As we continue to explore the cosmos and push the boundaries of human ingenuity, it's essential to remember that our actions have consequences, both on Earth and beyond. The idea of shooting nuclear waste into space might seem like a convenient way to deal with a complex problem, but it's a gamble with potentially catastrophic consequences. Instead of seeking quick fixes in the vastness of space, we must confront the challenges of nuclear waste management here on Earth. By investing in research, innovation, and international cooperation, we can find solutions that ensure a cleaner, safer, and more sustainable future for all.